Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Directors, Community Transit Board of Directors meeting for February 6th to 2025. The Board of Directors meeting is conducted on a hybrid format, both in person and remote, and is recorded and live streamed. Today, I want to give a warm welcome to two new board members, Danny Julian, our new labor rep. Welcome. And to Megan Dunn, who is trying very hard to get up here from Olympia, but is hot-footing it in, so she may come sliding in the door sometime during the meeting. Rachel, will you call the roll call, please?
Councilmember Daughtry.
Present.
Heard Councilmember Dunn is on her way. Mayor Frizzell.
Present.
Labor Representative Julian. Or Danny. Oh,
Present.
thank you. Mayor Marine.
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Merrill.
I'm here, thank you.
Mayor Nearing.
Here, thanks.
Councilmember Peterson. Mayor Roberts.
I'm here, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schweddy.
Present.
Chair, we have a quorum of board members. For our board alternates, we have Councilmember Gallagher in attendance, as well as Councilmember Fulcher and Councilmember Payne online. And that concludes roll.
Right over there. Good way to make it in.
Just in time.
All rise, please.
Okay, well, we'll move on to public comment. Each speaker has 3 minutes to provide comments. In room, the chair will call on those signed up to speak, and remote will ask those to speak, and they'll have 3 minutes to chat. Do we have anyone who wishes to comment? Anyone online? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the presentations. Mr. Fritz.
If I could have Rob Jensen join me up at the podium. Good. You ready? Excellent. This is on. Well, we get the great pleasure today of recognizing Rob Jensen, who is celebrating 20 years of service for community transit. You can clap for that. Rob has been here 20 years, which is a long time, which means he's done a lot. His current role, he's our manager for regional technology, which means he is the Orca guy. So anything you want to know about how your Orca card works and how and when and where and whether you need to use it, Rob is your man. And I want to dwell on that for a minute because the Orca system is a very complex system. It exists in a very delicate angle of repose at any given time because of the number of partners involved. It is the currency and the fare medium for all of the transit services in the Puget Sound region and the Washington State ferry system here in the region. So everything that card does has to be coordinated across all of those organizations: the state ferries, Evertransit, Community, King County Metro, Sound Transit, Pierce Transit, Kitsap Transit. Did I leave any out?
I think you got them all.
Seattle Monorail?
Seattle Monorail does.
There you go.
As does Seattle Streetcar.
There you go. So 9 partners. Anyway, Rob helps us navigate that space, and he helps us figure out how to make that product work for our customers, for our employees who need to enforce fare enforcement and fare collection and teach people how to use it. So anyway, it's a huge job, and he approaches it with joy, with humor, and with incredible patience. Yeah, so I'm told. He started as in customer care, and his 20-year journey across the years to today has involved a number of different roles in the customer space. And his passion for caring for the customer, for helping community transit attract and retain customers is unmatched. He's a volunteer extraordinaire. He involves himself in all of our agency activities and helps support the gatherings that we put on to bring people together and celebrate and build community here. He's always right in the middle of all of that. He's a tremendously positive coach and encourager of people in their career paths and an overall positive influence here in the building. He's received, I believe, more than 10 commendations over the course of his career from colleagues and customers. And that's just a real poignant example of the quality of his work. So we're very lucky to have you. We hope we have you for a while longer. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. Would you like to say something in your own defense?
Just thank you. It's hard to believe it's actually been 20 years. It seems like just yesterday, starting with the Vanpool Group, where we developed that into one of the largest programs in the country and had a lot of fun doing it. Then lucky enough to go work with the amazing team at the Ride Store in sales and distribution. To this day, some of the top experts on the planet on the Orca system work out of the Ride Store. And then, as you can tell, an incredible transit technology EPO team that I get to work with today that actually make it fun to come to work. So that's great. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Okay, we have one other honoree today, somebody who is celebrating 15 years. And I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit with this one. I'd like to ask John Naring to join me up at the podium. You can clap for the mayor. How are you? Yeah, so this is a surprise, but it's not often that a board member serves for 15 years. So we thought it appropriate to recognize that. I think everybody knows John, and for those who may not, he joined us in 2010 as a mayor of the largest city in the PTBA and has been through the rotation of leadership of this board twice. He served as chair twice, I think in 2016 and 2020. Saw through some pretty tough times, joined the board right as we were struggling with the Great Recession, figuring out how to align service with resources and make some pretty tough decisions. And then again in COVID during 2020 and beyond on the executive committee, and helping oversee how the agency responded and adjusted to that. And in between, on the positive side and after, he's been very involved in some of the most important initiatives that we've had here. He was part of the board that decided to go to the ballot in 2015. And he's been here to see the results of those investments, opening 2 new BRT lines, this beautiful building and all the facilities across at Hardison Road. So we're very grateful for your leadership. You've been collaborative. You're known throughout the region for your cordial style and your friendly approach and your positive engagement. And I appreciate that as a leader of this organization. And I know these folks and all your colleagues outside do too. And for the employees, you see some yellow vests over there. You see an item on your agenda today for our first contract with our TSOs. John was instrumental in voicing the importance of investing in more safety and security for our customers and our employees. So anyway, thank you for your leadership. All right. Thank you. All right.
All right. Okay, next order of business is this CEO report.
Oh. Very good. Well, thank you for indulging those, and thank you, Mayor Naring, for playing along. I'll join Chair Merrill in welcoming Labor Rep Julianne. We're excited to work with you. There's obviously a lot on the plate that we're already working on together, and looking forward to the future and the things, some of those things coming to fruition. And also, Councilmember Dunn, it's great to see you here. Really excited to have you on board as well. I think the topic of the day is inclement weather. Obviously, you came through snow to get here, and you in your own jurisdictions have been experiencing that the past almost week. As of around the noon hour today, we moved back to code orange. So we are at just about 90% service level for the afternoon and evening commute. Hopefully, we've seen the last of the snow, but we're expecting some colder temperatures tonight, so we'll be watching very closely for snowy and icy conditions into the morning commute. So, but the team has been working incredibly well together. We've got a new approach to coordinating our responses. As I've said in some of my emails to the board, we've got a new interim step between code green and code red, which is code orange, and that allows us to be a little more selective in how we adjust service based on localized conditions. And it's less impact to the customer, but it's a bigger lift for the staff. It involves a whole lot more coordination and communication across all of our disciplines to effectively do that and make quick decisions and quick changes. So it's been really interesting watching that play out this week. Staff's done a tremendous job, and so we'll see it through until, you know, temperatures warm up again. Any questions about inclement weather before I move on?
Just curious, do we notice that the electric bus does a little better with the extra weight, or have we not taken it out in the snow?
I will find out and get back to you. I don't know. Others? So we'll move on. So quick couple of legislative updates. I think the other big issue on a lot of folks' mind is all the news coming out of the federal government these days. It's high in volume and broad in breadth. We are in a fairly constant state of trying to assess the potential implications of some of the things that we're hearing about that are coming our direction. We are taking a look at our grant programs, both grants in hand and potential future grants that we have planned into our financial plan to try to determine if any of that is at risk and to what extent. We've identified and reported to the congressional delegation that we've got about 180 to 200 million in federal capital grants in play between now and the end of the current authorization period. That, depending on how things go and the state we're in, could be at risk one way or the other. So we're going to continue watching that obviously very closely, as well as some of the other policy measures that are being talked about. I would flag for the board the tariff situation. There were going to be tariffs. Now there aren't tariffs. We're not sure whether we'll have tariffs going forward, but that has implications for our ability to procure parts, to maintain our buses and our non-revenue vehicles, and potentially to replace our fleet vehicles. So we'll be assessing and watching that closely as well. On the good news side, you know, almost all of our operating budget is funded by our local sales tax, which continues to perform well. We get a little bit of federal operating assistance, but it's not impactful. We do get a significant amount of state operating assistance. Between our local and state revenues, we feel confident we can continue to sustain service growth as planned on the operating side. So we will continue to do that. And we will reassess in between each service change as we go forward. At the state level, I think you're all aware of what's going on in Olympia. They're trying to deal with some significant holes in the state operating and capital budgets. So we've been meeting with legislators, reminding them of what we have on the table in Move Ahead Washington and some of the other programs related to transit around the state. And I'll be going down to Olympia next week to meet with legislators to see what's going on and what they have in mind, and continue to remind them of our partnership with state DOT and its importance to Snohomish County. We're a couple weeks out from the first policy cutoff, and once we get past February 21st, then they'll probably get more into the budget issues in earnest. So that'll be a regular topic for us to stay in touch with through the executive committee next month and into the end of the legislative session. We continue to focus on safety and security issues as mentioned. In addition to today's agenda item, We have had pending an RFP for coach operator doors to be installed on our buses. We're expecting proposals in response to that RFP on February 27th. So we're excited to move forward with that, and at the top of our list is to install operator doors on our BRT fleet, which we think we can get done by the third quarter of this year. Let's see, it's State of the City season, so I've been getting around between my team and myself to try to cover as many of those events as we can, and I've seen some of you out there, and we'll look forward to seeing those of you who have yet to do your State of the City address later this month. I mentioned at a previous meeting that we had a ongoing discussion with the City of Everett about extending our operating agreement in support of the SWIFT system. So we had a very productive meeting with Mayor Franklin and her team last week and agreed we would bring forward a one-year extension to the existing agreement while we continue to work on reviewing the agreement and developing an updated agreement for the year after. So in March, we'll be bringing to this board for consideration just a clean one-year extension of the current agreement to give ourselves some time to look at what's changed and look at how the partnership has worked over the last 17 years and what refinements we may want to make going into the future. You've heard a lot from me via email and some conversations about how Zip is doing. We continue to be really surprised by how customers are taking to Zip in the new service areas. Arlington, because we've got our chief marketing officer for the Zip in Arlington right next to me, has been performing incredibly well. 600 rides as of last week, Lake Stevens right behind, and Darrington actually doing quite well. When I was in Everett last Thursday meeting with Congressman Larson, the head of Homage was in that meeting as well, and I asked him if he'd seen an uptick in ridership on the Darrington shuttle since we introduced Zip, and he said, yeah, he really has, and it was pretty interesting to see. So that's kind of fun. Let's see, we did the transition from our former vendor, MedStar, to VIA in Alderwood over the weekend, and that, by all accounts, went very smoothly. Just in time for the snow to hit. Our new contractor was in place and giving people rides in our Alderwood and Linwood this morning. Let's see. We have been starting to talk with the Finance Committee about shifting our approach to budget development from an annual to a biennial approach. I know many of you in your cities use that approach. So the Finance Performance and Oversight Committee will hear about that in particular at the next meeting, and then we'll bring that through the Executive Committee and to the March board meeting to see if that's something that the board will be comfortable with us doing. I know a lot of you do it. It's a great efficiency tool, saves a lot of labor hours and frees up staff on the admin side to do other important work in that alternating year. So look forward to hearing that conversation and participating in that with you. Speaking of finance, we received once again the prestigious Government Finance Officers Association Excellence Award for our financial report in 2023. This was our 35th consecutive year of winning that award. So congratulations to Anju and Mary and the whole finance team. It's just great to be able to rely on that consistent performance where the public resources are concerned. And last but not least, the hardware continues to come in. Our marketing team earned 3 first-place AdWheel Awards at the APTA Marketing Conference this year, including a video and advertising to recruit mechanics. Our print advertising to promote our new transit network last fall, and of course, everyone's favorite, the Rick Steves video series that promoted awareness of our system in Snohomish County last year and continues to actually run out there. So anyway, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will now move on to the committee reports, of which I have one, the executive report. The executive committee met on January 16th. Mayor Roberts, Mayor Frizzell, and Councilmember Schweddy and I all attended. The CEO report was shared earlier, was provided. The next an executive session was held for labor negotiations update. And the next committee meeting is scheduled for February 20th at 11:30. And the Finance, Performance and Oversight Committee, Mayor Roberts.
Thank you. The Finance, Performance and Oversight Committee met on Thursday, January 16th, 2025 in a hybrid format. Board members, Councilmember Jan Sweaty, Mayor John Naring, and I attended. Consent items, the committee reviewed and recommended one item to the consent agenda. Approval of December 2024 monthly expenditures and payroll vouchers will be items 7C through G on the consent agenda. In terms of reports, we had a Q3 2024 Transit Unit Report. Sergeant Scott Stitch, Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, presented the Q4 2024 Transit Police Report. A copy of this report is included in your packet. In terms of second item of the Q3 2024 Safety and Security Report, Scott Eastman, Senior Manager, Safety, Security, and Sustainability, presented the Q4 2024 Safety and Security Report. Sales tax report for December 2024 and audited. In December 2024, Community Transit collected approximately $16.6 million in sales tax revenue, approximately $848,000 less than budgeted. A copy of this report's in your packet. And then in terms of diesel fuel update for December 2024, the average cost year-to-date through December 2024 was $2.89 per gallon, while the average cost per gallon budgeted for 2024 was $4.25. This resulted in a favorable variance of $1.36 per gallon year-to-date through December. In terms of other business, Rick Elginfritz, Chief Executive Officer, informed the committee that Labor Representative Lance Norton will retire on January 23rd. An election process will be held to find his replacement. I think that's happened already, it sounds like. The next Finance, Performance, and Oversight Committee meeting is scheduled for 2 p.m. Thursday, February 20, 2025 via Zoom. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Labor Rep Julian, looked like you wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, thank you guys for the welcome. I'm serving as an interim until we've finished going through the process of appointing a permanent replacement, just to clarify, but thank you guys.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Okay, moving on to the consent items. Could I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved in a second to approve the consent items. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We will, the board will now enter an executive session for labor negotiations and update. It's a 10-minute subject to extension. Action is expected to follow the executive sessions. Board members and alternatives, we now ask that you leave this public meeting and join the executive session Zoom meeting that's been set up and listed on your agenda. For board members in person, we will now move to the adjacent Camino conference room.
We're supposed to say what time we're out of the executive session, so it'd be about 10 minutes, whatever, what time is that?
3:33.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
All right. You a lawyer?
I'm just a humble council member. Oops, excuse me.
The executive session is extended 10 minutes to 3:43. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we will return to the public meeting. And so if you have been on Zoom, please leave the executive session and rejoin us on the public Zoom meeting listed on your agenda. Okay, we'll move on to the action items. On the agenda is to approve resolution number 04-25 ATU Transit Security Officer Contract. Was there?
I'll make that motion.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
We want to report first?
Presentation first.
I'll withdraw the motion.
I'll withdraw the second.
John, I know it's only been 15 years.
Want to get that motion?
I thought it was going to save me a presentation. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. I've just been told these are not parting gifts. So anyway, so I am here to give a presentation on our ATU transit security contract. I'm going to briefly go over the ratified agreement, just give a couple of the highlights. And then Scott is going to talk about the TSO program itself, and then we'll review the resolution. So next, all right. Go ahead. Wait. Oh, you're looking at, okay. You went to?
That right?
No.
Jordan.
There we go. All right. Thank you all. So we have reached an agreement with our transit security officers, a union agreement. This is a first contract. We reached agreement on December 19th. The union took it to vote on January 27th, and it was ratified. They had a unanimous vote. The contract duration will go in effect from today, hopefully, through December 31st of next year. So it'll be roughly a 2-year contract. I just want to say that this contract was a very collaborative contract. I want to give a shout out to Leela and Isaiah and Danny and Scott. It was a very collaborative effort. We had a lot of really good conversation about what needed to be in the contract. Probably one of my best and favorite contract negotiations of my career. A lot of work went into it, and so just a shout out to everybody. There was a lot of work that not only went into the contract, but also into the program, and Scott's going to share a little bit about information about that. But I just want to say thanks to everybody, and go ahead and let Scott tell a little bit more about the program itself.
Great, thank you. Scott Eastman, Senior Manager for Security and Emergency Management. I'm excited to celebrate the journey that's brought our Transit Security Officer program to its current success. This initiative emerged in response to a shifting operational landscape during the pandemic, when decreased ridership coincided with rising fare evasion and increased safety risk due to inappropriate behaviors on our coaches. Initially, we explored expanding our transit police unit, even considered a doubling in its size, but due to hiring challenges with the sheriff's office, that option wasn't viable. We also evaluated private contract security, but we knew that to uphold our standards, we needed a solution that offered greater quality and control. Embracing the vision of our security enhancement strategic plan, we set out to create a coordinated security response that would unite the public, our employees, and our partners. This vision led us to establish an in-house transit security officer program, a move that not only allowed us to recruit and hire highly skilled, experienced security professionals, but also enabled us to develop an industry-leading training program and an integrated operational approach to security services. Today, we proudly reflect on these milestones and celebrate our progress, knowing that our commitment to excellence continues to make a meaningful difference as we build to an even stronger future. I'm thrilled to announce that our TSO program has been flourishing since we welcomed our very first TSO trailblazers, Isaiah Smith and Miguel Diaz, on February 27, 2023. Those two are sitting in the back. Their continued leadership and dedication has been instrumental as they mentor and guide the newest members of our team. The board's support has been crucial as you originally approved 18 TSOs in 2023, an additional 4 in 2025, and 12 more in 2024 in 2024 and 12 in 2025. Last fall, our enhanced recruiting efforts resulted in an additional 7 talented TSOs since November 24th, 2024, bringing our current number of TSOs to 23. We will proudly welcome another 2 TSOs on February 18th. We are now well on our way to training and deploying 34 TSOs who work diligently every day to elevate the safety and security of our employees and passengers. This remarkable growth is a testament to our commitment and teamwork, and I couldn't be prouder of what we've achieved together. I'd like to recognize some of my team members that are sitting also behind me that helped me make this possible. Senior Program Manager Kyle Hughes, Assistant Manager Bobby White, and Training and Exercise Coordinator Barb Taylor. We take immense pride in recruiting highly skilled TSOs who embody the rich diversity of our communities we serve. It's been one of our guiding principles. We celebrate an inclusive environment where every team member sees themselves reflected and truly belongs. That's a good group of TSOs. Good looking group. We're proud to celebrate the pivotal role our TSOs played in keeping our transit operations, passengers, and staff safe and secure. Their core mission to detect, deter, and prevent improper or illegal activity has been exemplified in data collected since May of 2024, where TSOs proactively addressed over 3,000 security incidents that might have otherwise escalated unnoticed. Adding to this impressive track record, TSOs have also responded to more than 1,100 calls for service, predominantly from coach operators, ensuring timely support when it's needed most. Their consistent presence through various checks not only enhances their visibility, but also reinforces our commitment to preventing any conduct that poses a security risk or violates our rules of conduct. The inauguration of our cutting-edge Security Operations Center in July 2024 marks another significant achievement. We're excited about the progress we've made and look forward to reaching our goal of a 24/7 SOC and TSO staffing by the end of 2026, a milestone that underscores our ongoing dedication to safety and excellence. In the meantime, we continue to work towards a coordinated security response with our passengers, coach operators, service ambassadors, embedded social workers, field supervisors, TSOs, and the Transit Police Unit. We will continue to provide quarterly reports to the Finance, Performance, and Oversight Committee with updates on security services, social workers, and the Transit Police Unit. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Next.
Okay, what questions do you have for Scott or Denise? Anyone? No, seeing none, could I get a motion?
I'll make that motion now. Thank you. To move approval of this ordinance. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The resolution is passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, I just want to know who is number 1 and who's number 2?
Isaiah is number 1,
Yeah.
but a close second by Miguel.
All right.
Why don't we have Isaiah and Miguel stand up and be recognized?
It's time we move on now to the election of the board officers for the coming year. Board officers are elected at the February board meeting each year, and the positions are elected include leadership positions on the board chair, the vice chair, and the secretary for 1 term. Nominations will be taken from the board for each officer position. Any voting member of the board is eligible for a position, and the positions will be elected in this order: the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. Per board bylaws, any board member can nominate and board members may self-nominate. The officers may, if re-elected, serve consecutive terms. Voting members may vote or may abstain. Person with the majority of votes will take the position. The floor is now open for the nominations for chair position.
Nominate Sid Roberts for chair.
Do we need a second?
We need a second on those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
second.
think we do, yes. So second. Been moved and seconded for Sid Roberts. Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Close.
That's close.
Okay, the floor is now open for nominations for vice chair position.
I nominate Mayor Fussell.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Mayor Frizell, anyone else? Other nominations? Seeing none, nominations are closed. We have another closed one here. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Congratulations,
Thank
Mayor Frizell. Okay, the floor is now open for nominations for the secretary position.
I nominate Kim Daughtry.
Second.
Other nominations? Okay, it's been moved and seconded for Kim Daughtry to assume the secretary position. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Wait, what about opposed?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone have any comments that they want to make on their behalf?
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you. And when I grow up, I want to be just like John Naring. And I really would like to have that haircut, but actually, thank you. And I'm looking forward. I know most of the people at the dais have served in that position, and I'm grateful to do it as well. So thank you very much.
And I'd just like to say thank you as well. This is a wonderful board to be a part of, and we're making a difference as we get people from where they are to where they want to be and back again. And I'm proud to be a part of this board, so thank you for your vote.
Yeah, and I'd like to say one of the favorite things I have being a council member in Lake Stevens is being on this board. The staff that we have here is, you're above reproach. Everything you do is just awesome. So I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you.
Last time, sitting next to you.
Yeah.
After 2 years.
Board members, Rachel will contact you following this to collect your committee assignment requests for the year. And the board chair, Mayor Roberts, will then finalize the committee assignments in time for the February committee meetings. Okay.
Got it.
We now arrive at the chair's report. I have a few things to say. One of them is that this is my last meeting as chair, and I wanted to just say, I heard it before. I think it was Mayor Marine that said it, but I remember it's quick. It comes and goes in a flash. For me, this has been a peak experience. What a year. It's been an extraordinary year of accomplishment by an extraordinary staff. And so thank you. When I saw the formidable list of projects this year, I expected that some things would go sideways. I was talking to Rick yesterday, and I said, boy, that was remarkably smooth. You didn't have any problems. He said, no, don't believe that. So it's a testament to the professionalism of this staff that I guess the analogy of the duck is appropriate. It looks calm on the surface and you're just paddling like crazy underneath. So congratulations. You've made my term in this office a real joy. And one of the highlights of my serving in public office has been being a part of this and being chair for this year and this set of accomplishments. So thank you. Second, I want to congratulate Mayor Roberts on his selection as the new community transit chairman, and along with the gavel, which passes to him, I have a couple of other accessories that I would like to share with him that will help his transition into and managing of that role. So the first is a handy stress reliever. For those sessions where the board gets raucous, then the emotions rise and things get tense and we get very combative. Just give it a squeeze. And that should come in handy also for city council meetings at Stanwood. They're known for their raucous meetings.
No, that's Snohomish. It doesn't.
And I did want to point out that when you are having one of those, if you would display it prominently during your city council meetings, it serves as product placement and a reminder to your constituents to consider community transit as one of the travel options. Okay. And then second, it's often the case, oh yeah, there's more.
That's more.
It's often the case that board chairs in industry and institutions achieve a celebrity status, which is very affirming. But it can also be annoying occasionally when you're trying to get somewhere and you're being pestered for autographs and selfies and pursued by the paparazzi. So in that case, you may want to go incognito.
There we are right there.
Look at those as a Klingon cloaking device. And I field tested a similar pair and I got on the, I wore this pair like that, got on the Orange Line, traveled to Linwood, took the light rail all the way to Seattle and back, and not once was asked for a selfie or an autograph. So keep that close, you may need them. So congratulations, Mayor Howard.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, if I may, yeah, certainly.
Mr. Chair and Mr. Future Chair, if I may, for a moment, on behalf of the staff, I don't think I can improve on the remarks you made reflecting on the year, but I would like to thank you on behalf of the staff for your leadership over this year. I think you're right, it goes very fast. When I think about the volume of work we did last year, the number of events, the ribbon cuttings, the service changes, the celebrations, the tense moments, you were there for all of it, steadfast, engaged. We benefited from the fact that Council President Merrill spent his career in the trucking industry and also in the technology part of the trucking industry. So just about any time anything was coming up with the ZE program or one of our capital projects or a communications issue, he was ready to engage and had a really good idea what I was talking about. And so anyway, it was awesome lunching with you here at the office and over in Snohomish. And we're just grateful for your leadership and your service to this organization. So we have a small token, which I'm not sure where it actually is. Oh, it's right behind me. This tradition was started, I think, when Mayor Marine passed from the chairmanship. We shifted to doing a photo montage. So this is a series of pictures from 2024 that show some of the things we did together.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Congratulations. And then if you'll indulge one more, I want to also recognize Councilmember Schweddy. This last month was her final executive committee meeting as our former chair. And we had a chance to visit before the meeting today and reflect a little bit on everything we did as well. And I want to thank you for your tenacious advocacy on behalf of community transit, your incredibly effective marketing of the ZIP service in Arlington, and for sending us all the pictures and comments about the cleanliness at Smoky Point and the things that need to be addressed on the sides of the streets in Arlington as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then we need to move on and select our PSRC representatives for the coming year. The current incumbent is Councilmember Daughtry, and the alternative is Jan Schweddy. When I was talking to Kim about this, he says, if anybody really wants it, step forward.
I don't want it, but I'll nominate Kim.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the same thing. I would
Second.
start by asking if they want to stay in the position before.
Oh, yeah, I want to stay there. This will be year 12 for me.
I was on the Growth Management Board for 6 years, and this is my 6th year on the Transportation Board.
It's unfortunate their bylaw says you can only be on at 12, so. No.
Yeah, my notes say that the board vote is not needed. It's just an assignment, so congratulations. And finally, the next regular meeting is scheduled for March 6th at 3 p.m., presided over by our new council, or our new chair, our new council, our new chair, Mayor Roberts.
Thank you.
Let's move on to board communications. We'll start with Board Member Daughtry.
Well, I finally took a ride on Zip in Lake Stevens. I had a day that it wasn't going to do anything, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to go a couple of places in the city and see what happens. So I went on Zip and I didn't tell them who I was. I just got in there. It was great. So now I'm going to try to talk my wife into using Zip instead of driving, because she's not supposed to be driving anyway. So try to get her to start using Zip. So that was a good trip.
I'll move to the left for a moment. Any comments that you'd like to make, Labor Rep Julian?
Yes, thank you. I'm thrilled with the TSO contract. I just would like to say that Local 1576 is so honored to welcome the hardworking and dedicated TSOs into our local. They do such great work keeping the entire system safe. Critical, important work. And shout out to Isaiah for all your, crucial input and keeping the group together. It was 2 years of negotiating for a first contract. But I agree with Denise, it went well because I saw that Community Transit was really interested in standing up a really great program. Scott, shout out to you too, looking out for the group. And I came into this at the 11th hour. You guys know my predecessor, Kathleen, moved on. She negotiated 75% of the contract. I got it across the finish line, but I want you guys to know that, we're thrilled and looking forward to what comes next. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Marine?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chair Merrill, your last meeting, but great job and looking forward to Mayor Roberts doing that. I wouldn't recommend the hat, glasses, and a hoodie getting on the bus because you probably get kicked off, but the TSO is keeping a close eye on you for sure. Looking like a Unabomber with that on there. And just thanks to the TSO and the board and the staff for getting that not only set up, but moving. It's so important that not only that you are safe clearly on our transit, but that people have that feeling of safety. And I think having the TSO there and just gives them that, because I think a lot of times people are, but they may not get the feeling that they are, so they won't ride. So thank you for doing that. And then lastly, I guess just happy to be a part of the board and waiting to be able to take my ride on Swift in Muckleteel someday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Swift or Zip, either one, yeah.
Councilmember Schwetti?
I'm good. Last week tore me up. I had so many, when you're on PSRC too, I had so many emails, so many texts every single day. And it was so bad with everything that was happening from the state and what was impact to our city and stuff. So yeah, I'm glad it's not over, unfortunately.
Mayor Roberts?
Well, I just want to thank the board for your confidence in me and look forward to serving with the staff. Electeds fight to get on this board because of your reputation of being good to work with. And, the professionalism is making something really hard look easy. And I think the staff here does that. We're really grateful to be able to serve here. And thanks to Chair Merrill and he and I are a couple of Midwestern boys, and we kind of commiserate on that. time to time, and our friendship has grown as talking about community transit business. So I'm very honored and very grateful, and thank you, buddy. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'd just like to echo what Mayor Maureen said about our buses may be safe, but they feel safer because of the ladies and gentlemen that are on the buses as our TSOs. There's a feeling that comes with that, and our community is extremely proud of that. I see a difference. People come up to me and they say, "Oh, I'm afraid to ride the bus. What are you going to do about, the guy sleeping in the back? And what about this and what about that?" But just having TSOs around makes a huge difference. So thank you, gentlemen in the back and the rest of the team. I look forward to that being up at full steam ahead before too long. So I appreciate you. I also really appreciate the zip cars. And I have a really long commute in the morning. It takes 4.5 minutes, I think, to go 1.5 miles. And almost every time I see a zip car. And yesterday I saw 2 of them in my long commute, and people love it. They love the idea that if they're no longer able to drive, there's an alternative. If kids need to get someplace, there's an alternative. So just hats off to community transit for bringing that opportunity to our cities. And it got expanded a little bit in the last few weeks, so I'm very appreciative of that as well. So again, kudos to a wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I will concur. It's just great to see this contract with our TSOs and the great work that's going on there, and great leadership by everybody here to get that done. And thank you for that. And Chair Merrill, great job. Thank you for all your work throughout this year, and looking forward to Sid's year. He's going to do a spectacular job. Thank you. And yeah, appreciate the 15-year. It reminded me, since Lance isn't here, I'll tell a story today. Welcome, by the way. But I remember my predecessor, Mayor Dennis Kendall, who served with distinction on this board, encouraged me when I was, say, hey, you gotta try to get on that board. And it's just a great board. New bus contracts, expanding service, all these great things happening throughout the early to mid 2000s. Sounds like a lot of fun. Everybody's thrilled with it. And so I, threw my hat in the ring as a council member at that time, got on the board. And we cut Sunday service. We cut back a bunch of other service. We had angry people at the board. I thought, what was this guy talking about? But no, it's a testament to this agency, how quickly it built back, though, and the professionalism of the staff. And it's, as I think Kim said, there's no better board to serve on. A+ staff, A+ agency, and you guys make it easy. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Dunn.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the warm welcome and excited to join. So I represent District 2 on the County Council, which includes Everett, Mukilteo, and Tulalip. And we've got the Blue Line. We've got a lot of really great things happening to this region. I serve on a number of different boards and commissions, so looking forward to bringing a regional perspective for this. And also want to thank outgoing chair for encouraging me to join the board. So thank you. Condolences, possibly.
Councilmember Peterson is not on with us today. We'll move on to the board alternates. Councilmember Gallagher. Thank you. We'll move to the online attendees. Mayor Matsumoto Wright.
Thank you. I have nothing more to add, but I'm really, really looking forward to Sid Roberts there. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Payne.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the new officer positions, and nice to see Councilmember Dunn here as well. Looking forward to a full new year. Thanks.
And we had council member Fulcher on earlier, but I don't see her on there now. So that concludes the board communications. Do we have other business to conduct?
Not from staff.
Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you. Hmm.
Nice job.
I need to give you your